The president has, in his, wisdom, he has seen that, okay, this is a person that, and like I said earlier, you don't change the leadership of NNPC anyhow, because, it is going to affect the entire valuation. Know that the Nigerian budget, is benchmarked on oil. Know that we all talk about it. If anything happens to the pump price of petrol, it affects everybody. So the president has, in his wisdom, been impressed, quote unquote, with what he has done. And that is why I think he has reappointed him. I expect him now, but I think this is even a larger burden on him, because he has not only the president to impress this time around, he has a lot of Nigerians, those that has been expecting the president to kick him out immediately, after that May 29 inauguration. So he has a lot of people to impress now.
Some had even said that it wasn't exactly surprising, because they saw him accompanying the president on, some foreign trips. Yeah. So perhaps, and if the president indeed wanted to sack him, he would have done it, way earlier, since May, when he was inaugurated. But we cannot ignore the perception of many Nigerians, even many observers, many players in the oil sector, who see the Mele Kyari personality heading the NNPC as part of the problem. We can speak quickly off the top of our heads about the oil theft of grand proportions, and and all that. What did he do to curb that?
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, let me talk about, accompanying the president everywhere as something that will shield him from that. I think that is, in the oil and gas sector, we have experienced, the head of NCDMB, in a public function in Houston, Texas. I was there. He was representing Nigeria. Then we got a press release that he has been removed. He has been removed. It is not.
But that is America, right?
In fact, no, Nigeria.
Okay, that's Nigeria.
A former GC of NNPC group corporate. A former CEO of NNPC exploration was at a conference in Abuja, Nigerian Oil and Gas Conference, talking to people, in fact, threatening the oil and gas, oil majors, telling them, no, they were on a panel. He was telling them, you have to do this, you don't this, I'm going to do it. And we were there,
In fact, that's even going too far. The former CBN governor was around this state house, and even with the president.
Thank you.
And yes, so that same week,
your closeness,
he was sacked.
So your closeness is rebuttable.
In fact, it has been to a level that, as much as we see you, moving so close to
the president,
we have the feeling that you are trying to, protect. You are trying to, even that you are under pressure.
Yeah.
So, having said that, I think the question now around what is expected to do, is that not what you said?
Right. For example, now the issue of oil theft. Because this is not like a basic, small theft.
Now, what did he do differently at the time? What did he do?
Absolutely.
At the time he was on, before he's now being brought back as the GCEO.
Okay, thank you so much. Oil theft is a very, very, disheartening scenario. And I think it's important at this point, before talking further, to raise a caveat. I'm talking as a journalist that has covered the industry for years, not as spokesperson for NNPC or even the GMD Mele Kyari. But whatever I'm going to say will be based on what I've observed. Oil theft, even as alluded to by Mele Kyari, has been an highlighted issue, problem. And I think Mele Kyari, and every other person, every other players in the industry, they have been telling us that they have been able to do this, do that. But if you want to use the results, I will still see to judge. You still see that I think a lot, should also be done. Maybe they are not doing enough. But it's important to even as well say now that the way that oil theft, plays out, you will see that it is even beyond one person. Those crude are, stolen from the well-held, according to the information we have. But let me quickly paint a scenario. The oil, the way it's produced is that just like the borehole we have in our various homes, after they have, dug the ground, after the exploration dug the ground, they put, something there to, extract the oil. At that point, they call it wellhead, where, a pipeline is connected to that, point where the crude is being extracted. Now, at that wellhead, we have had a lot of reports that crude oil has been stolen at that point. Unfortunately for all of us, because it's important that I say this, it is only in Nigeria, out of the OPEC countries, that our wellheads are not metered. So what that means is that how much of crude is being, extracted at that point is not metered. It is what, the producer tells us that is coming out from there that we agree that comes out from there. That's number one. So a lot of talks have been around what is going on at the wellhead. Now, immediately after that wellhead, the oil is now being transported through the pipelines. Okay? So those pipelines receive the oil, then they now take it to a larger pipeline, because I need to speak so that Nigerians will understand. Let's say company A is producing from the one wellhead and is taking it out. Company B is taking out from his own too. The two of them or the three of them or whatsoever the number they have, now we'll now put it in, export pipeline. So that pipeline now will now take it to the export terminal where, vessels and all that will take it, out of Nigeria or to whatever refinery they want to take it to. Now, aside from that wellhead, we have issues on the pipelines. Those pipelines transverse, various communities. We have issues about, those pipelines being, bombed at some point. Those pipelines being, tampered with, vandalized, and all that. You will agree with me that little will someone at the helms of affairs in NNPC do about community issue. Of course, he has to engage them, he has to do a lot of things, but an aggrieved community will continue to be an aggrieved community if the agitations are not, addressed. So, so for you to, then after that, at the export terminal, crude oil are being stolen at that point. In fact, there are reports that we have heard or read that the volume of crude oil we lose at that point, may be more than what we are even been hearing that we produce. So it is a very serious issue.